Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. And the presentation is clear?
Yep.
Okay, so welcome Baseka and Ray to our very first ProGig Finder webinar. This is the very first webinar in a series that we're planning. We hope to possibly do one maybe every month, every other month, and at the end of the presentation, we're going to be asking, for example, what topics you'd like to, hear, what type of advice you'd need, career-wise, freelancing-wise. So at the end of the presentation, you'll get to do that. As Alan said, we are going to be recording the presentation. So if you're not comfortable, feel free to turn your camera off. If you are, it would be better for us if you keep your camera on to help with engagement. But if not, we completely understand. We'll be using AHA slides. I'm not sure if you heard about it to facilitate engagement. So if you have any questions, we'll be asking you questions for you to respond and so on. And we'll send the link later on. So for the agenda for our webinar, as you saw in the flyer, we have two sessions. We have one today, which is going to basically cover what the independent workforce is, what it offers you, and what you can bring to that industry. And then on Monday, it's more of like a workshop where we'll be helping you create the ideal profile to kind of attract clients. You can ask us whatever, questions you may have, and then based on our expertise, we can, guide you accordingly. Um, so just before we get into like the meat of the matter, just to introduce ourselves a bit. So on the call today, there are three people from ProGig Finder: Alan, who is the CEO and founder; Julian, who is marketing and admin specialist; and I'm Brittany, like I work in strategy. Um, I'll be the main person hosting the session today. However, Alan, he'll also be giving a demo, but later on you'll be able to ask us any questions, all three of us, any questions that you have, and we'll respond accordingly based on our individual expertise. Um, so before we get into it again, we'd like to get to know you a little bit because like we've introduced ourselves a bit. We'll be using AHA slides. I don't know if you've ever used it before, but what we're going to do, or if you're more comfortable, we can just go ahead and you can type your responses in the chat. Um, Alan and Julian, could you please send the AHA slides link in the chat? You guys can respond there, or you can just type it in the chat, whatever.
Yeah, I've shared the link in the chat for those who are interested to join via AHA.
Slides, yeah.
Yeah.
You can let us know if you can access it. I think I have it opened. Do I? Oh, yes, I do. Present. Present. So can you guys access it, the AHA slides? Oh, we have one more person. Okay, you can access the AHA slides. Perfect. So the question is, what are you currently studying? What's your academic focus? You can respond directly in AHA slides. So are you doing business? Are you doing engineering and technology, arts, sciences, social sciences, education, medicine and health, or another one? To the person who just joined, so we're using AHA slides. If you guys can copy the link again and you
Yeah.
can join in. Okay, so both of you guys are doing business. Okay, and the next question is, how do you feel about your career path after you graduate? You can answer directly in AHA slides, or you can just type it in the chat, or you can open your mic and share. Feel free to go about it any way you'd like. So are you still trying to figure out what you'll do after graduation? Are you super ready to make money? Are you not sure where to start with job hunting? Are you excited about the new endeavor but a bit nervous? Are you thinking of starting your own business? Um, do you want to keep studying after you graduate? Let me know. Where's your headspace at? How do you feel about your career? Ah, okay. Every all of them. Okay, that's fine. If you're still trying to figure it out, if you're a bit nervous, we can help you. We're going to introduce you to our platform, ProGig Finder, a little bit later on. If you're super ready to make money, we're going to introduce you to our platform where you can make money. If you're thinking of starting your own business, our platform can also, facilitate that. So just hang on as we go through the presentation, and I think you will start to, get a feel of like, where you can fit on our platform. So the final question that I have is, well, for right now, because we have a few questions later on. Outside of academia, outside of what you're studying, what other skills do you have? For example, are you good at photography? Are you good at graphic design? Are you good with kids? Can you be a nanny? Can you be a tutor? Are you good at hairdressing, for example? Also, for example, if you speak both English and Luganda, maybe you could work as a translator. If you're good at TikTok, you get a lot of views or you have a lot of engagement, maybe that means social media expertise. So the question is, besides your studies, what other skills, we have one more person, what other skills do you have? You can answer directly in our slides. Just keep resharing the link so that those who join after can, have it. Thank you. Are you guys still thinking about the skills? So you can answer. So for example, I don't know if you can drive, maybe you could do deliveries, or I don't know, if you like to, plan events, you could do event planning, event setup. What other skills do you have? I see that participants are typing, so we'll wait a little bit. Baking, helping with coursework, so tutoring, graphic design, event decorating, creative writing, and there are more coming. Perfect. So outside of academia, there are other skills that you can potentially earn from as well. So we're going to discuss, for example, how you can utilize this to earn money while studying or also like after you graduate. I can be a translator, sales, I can work with accounting. Perfect. Okay, so it's good to have like an overview of the skills that you have, and we'll be discussing these later as well, to see what you could offer on our platform, once you've gotten the gist of what the platform is. So now into the actual presentation. So, when we think about work, traditionally, people would go in at 9, then they would leave at 5. If you work at an office, you'd sit around a desk, work on your computer, maybe file a bit. If you're maybe more of a blue collar worker, a mechanic, you still go in, you work in the garage, you leave at 5. You work for your boss. Maybe after maybe 5 years, you get a promotion and you become a supervisor, a manager, potentially the head of a department. If you want vacation days, you have to apply for it, put it in, ask your boss, request it. If you want sick leave, you have to request it. That's a traditional way of working. But now we're moving towards a more modern way of working. It's the era of social media. So now you see people who are traveling all the time, but they do work. Maybe you see people posting from a cafe. Posting from a cafe. Maybe you have some family members who, during the day, they get to do housework, they get to go to the grocery store, but at night they come in and they work. And gone are the days where people only work for one person. Now you can have multiple clients, you can work on multiple projects, you work part-time for one project, work part-time for another. You have greater autonomy over the projects that you work on, and there's more work-life balance. We're seeing that now with the way people are working. So my question for you is, which scenario appeals more to you? Do you want to work in, and none of these, there's no wrong answer. Everybody does what works best for them and for their lifestyle. So which scenario appeals more to you? Do you want to work like in the traditional 9 to 5 job? Um, do you want to be more flexible, location independent? Do you want to be able to travel? Do you want to be able to do what you want to do at the time you want to do it, but still, have a job and earn money? Or do you want a mix of both? That's the question. I think you can go in and answer directly on aha slides, or again, please type it in the chat, or if you want to turn on your mic, feel free. What type of scenario? Do you want a traditional 9 to 5, a more flexible, work-life balance work environment, or a mix of both? For example, you go into your 9 to 5 and in the afternoon you do a side hustle. Okay, so we see one person, you got one like flexible work, two flexible work. Okay, well, this is kind of with the mindset, okay, I see in the chat. I personally like flexible. Me too. I like flexible as well, a mix of both. I'm okay with a mix of both or flexible. I think somebody else in the chat, I would want to have both business and employee. Okay, yeah. So actually, these answers aren't surprising. This is where the world is going in terms of modern work. People want more autonomy over their time. Okay, over their time. And to back this, I guess the numbers don't lie. For example, the gig economy, and when I say gig, we're talking about like more short-term jobs, projects, and maybe you can, juggle a few gigs at a time. So when you talk about, when I'm talking about gig, I'm referring to short-term projects. So the gig economy is growing. In 2018, it was around 200 billion, and by 2023, it was 450 billion, and by 2030, it's projected to be around 600 billion. Personally, I want a piece of that pie. I want to get some of that money for myself and for my family. I want to be able to travel, I have goals, and for those goals I need some money. So I want to be a part of this industry, this gig in industry. And just some more, and everybody's talking about it actually, because for example, there are articles about the gig economy in Forbes magazine, Fortune magazine, which are, very famous platforms, very famous magazines. For example, in Fortune, it says that Gen Z, they don't trust the old system anymore. So the gig economy is growing 3 times faster. They want greater autonomy over their time, what they do, the clients they work for, and so on. And in the US, 52% of Gen Z worked freelance jobs. And globally, 1.5 billion people are engaged in some form of freelance or gig work. And this doesn't necessarily mean that they do it full time, but maybe they have a full time job and they do this on the side, or they're studying and they do this on the side. And since we're talking about university students, we're going to be talking a little bit about how you can, balance this with your studies. And um, so the gig economy, it falls within what we call the independent workforce. And the independent workforce is like where the workforce in which you make or you earn an income outside of the traditional employer-employee arrangement. So gigs are a part of the independent workforce. And again, just to reiterate, this in terms of the benefits, you have greater autonomy in the projects and clients that you choose. You have more flexibility. It's open to everyone. So if you're a student, you can do side hustles on the side and prepare yourself maybe to become a full-time freelancer once you graduate, as well as there are diverse opportunities. So whether you are a software engineer, something more white collar, you're a lawyer, or I don't know, a biomedical engineer, an accountant, more white collar work, there are opportunities for you in the gig economy. Or whether you're more of a blue collar worker, more skilled worker, a mechanic, a plumber, there are also opportunities for you in the gig economy. And as students, how can you fit into the independent workforce? So, for example, you can have a side hustle while studying. So, you probably have 5 classes maximum for the day, 3 classes, for example, for the day. In between those classes, you can work on, short-term projects. You can be a tutor in the afternoon. You can babysit in the afternoon. You can do graphic design in the afternoon or in between classes and so on. You can do occasional gigs, for example, if you need money. I don't know, for example, you want to leave your hostel and go home, but you don't necessarily have, I don't know, bus fare, for example. Maybe you'll find a gig that you can do and you get some money and you can do what you want to do. It can also help you to build experience in the sense that, okay, for example, you're not necessarily studying graphic design, but you want to be a graphic designer, you can, do little gigs to build your portfolio and get better at it over time while you're a student, so that once you graduate, you have a huge portfolio and the likelihood of you getting employed or, getting put on like, bigger projects is, higher. You can also test business ideas. For example, if you want to do events planning and setup, you can become a freelancer and work on it on the side to test the business idea, to test how drawn people are to, your business model and so on. You can do this on the side. And then after you graduate, there is the possibility of you being a full-time freelancer once you've like established yourself um beforehand while you're a student doing these gigs. So well, I've said quite a bit. Now to get more to the meat of the matter. So how can ProGig Finder help you? Um, on the flyer, you saw that the We Are ProGig Finder, we're the ones putting this webinar on. And what ProGig Finder is essentially is Africa's leading platform doing two simple things. Well, doing one simple thing actually. We're connecting those who need something done to those who need something to do. We're connecting people with problems to people who can solve the problem. We're connecting people who need something done to people who need, work, simply put. So it's basically a two-sided marketplace. And what we want to do, our main goal is to provide equal and inclusive economic opportunity for all. Alan is going to walk us through the platform a little bit so you understand exactly the features that are offered on the website, and then we'll come back. You'll be able to ask some questions. Well, actually, I'll talk for a little bit longer, and then you'll be able to ask questions, and then I'll let you know about the workshop on Monday.
Thank you. I'll try to share my screen now. Thank you very much, Brittany, and thank you, guys who joined. My name is Alan, and I'm the CEO and founder of ProGig Finder. And I am going to introduce you to Africa's leading marketplace. Like we mentioned, our goal is one. We want to connect people who are looking something to do to people who have something to do. And every one of us, even if you are still studying, even if you already done studying, you always have a skill that you can provide to the community. And this is where ProGig Finder comes in. Rather than just having a skill without getting anything from it, our platform helps you now to equip you with the ability to earn from your skill. And I present to you ProGig Finder, the future of work. So this is ProGig Finder. Once you go to progigfinder.com, this is our landing page. But also, just to let you know, you can check on Play Store. We have the Android application, and very soon we will be able to be available on App Store. So you'll be able to access the application also on iOS. So once you reach here on the landing page, the next thing you do if you don't have an account is to go to the sign up page. And since most of the people here, we are university students, then you have to sign up as a person looking for work. So fill in your details, fill in your country, and put a brief bio, and also upload your resume if you have one. Hopefully in the future also we will have some experts who can come to this kind of webinars in case you want it to help you guys to optimize your resumes, and also know how you can prepare your resumes to be ready for the marketplace. So let's assume you have signed up and now you have an account. So you log in ProGig Finder, and once you log in ProGig Finder, this is how the platform will look like. And from here, you have your dashboard, and on this dashboard, you have a couple of things. You can look for jobs, and these are the traditional jobs. So if you recall, Brittany asked you, would you want to do a 9 to 5 job, or you want to do like a mix of, let's say, 9 to 5 and some gigs? So here you find the jobs. Most of the jobs all the jobs we have here are jobs that we've mostly vetted and are jobs that you trust. These are not jobs that you're going to come and apply, or like scam jobs where you're going to apply and you're being asked to give some kind kidogo so that you can get the job. No, these are jobs that most of these we usually vet, and we post them here with collaboration from companies, reputable companies. You see like Nile Breweries, Absa, DFCU Bank, and many more. So you can apply the jobs, and these jobs are very trustworthy jobs. And then the other section is a section for gigs, and the gigs is now, I think we as the campus students or the people who are still at the university, this is the most appealing section for us. Here you can find short-term projects. And how do these short-term projects work? So for example, you see ProGig Finder of recent had this short-term gig where we wanted to enthusiastic Makerere students to distribute over 300 flyers around the university. And as you can see, this task could take a maximum of 2 to 5 hours. So this means if you have lectures in the morning, you can do your lectures, and then in the evening, use 2 to 5 hours and distribute these flyers. And by evening, the gig is done. If you mark it done and work in hand with the person who posted the gig, then you get it done and you earn your 20,000 Uganda shillings. So this is the other section that we have in ProGig Finder. And then lastly but not the least, we have also this section of the freelancers. And like Brittany was telling you, this is a growing industry where people now, we are no longer doing jobs like traditional jobs where, you know, I'm going to work my 9 to 5 job, and at the end of the month, I'm going to get paid. In this case, as a freelancer, once you complete your freelancer profile, you see we have a lot of categories. We have things like web development, graphic designs, video editing and production, content writing and copywriting, digital marketing, virtual assistant, and the like. Also, we mentioned at the beginning, for us, it's not just the white collar jobs. No, it is everyone who has something to do, being connected to everyone who is looking for something to do. So with our platform, you see, we even have opportunities for people who can do house cleaning, opportunities for people who can do electrical services, plumbing, handyman services, childcare and nanny services, tutoring and education, and all this. And this is, you see, a sample of the featured freelancers. So with all the skills, even if before you graduate, you have the opportunity of being on the platform. And what is the advantage of completing your freelancer profile? This means you can come here, like as you can see, let's use a sample of one profile. Um, you see, Nahura Isaac, he's a very hardworking and optimistic, goal-oriented individual, good at beating the deadlines and can work under pressure. So once Isaac finishes, completes his profile and everything is well, I can come and see Isaac's profile, see the skill that Isaac can provide to me. And as a person who has a project, I'm able to contact Isaac and propose a project to Isaac. And if Isaac is interested with the project, he, he he can take on the project and do the project, and in the end earn from the project. And this is the advantage of completing your freelancer profile. So once you sign up on ProGig Finder, you get like the prompt to asking you to complete your freelancer profile. Don't forget to finish that. But even if you don't finish up your freelancer profile, you can always come to this section under my freelancer profile and then fill in all the details that are required. And once you're done, provide the skills, provide the categories that you think you fall in, and then the contacts and the different ways people can get to you, and save your profile. Once you save your profile, this means people will be able to access you as a freelancer. You may wonder why, uh, what is the advantage of being on a platform like ProGigFinder? If you have a skill And let's take an example. For example, you are studying from Makerere University as a student and you have a skill. If you're not on a platform like ProGigFinder, you'll have the skill, but you will only be accessible to maybe the people within your classroom or the people within your hostel. Outside that, no one will ever know that you're very good at baking cakes. And this means the maximum number of customers that you can get is only your classmate and maybe your hostel mate, the person you share the hostel with, because those are the only people won't sleep and dream that, oh, the other person is a good baker. No. But once now you enroll on platform like ProGig Finder, now you are exposed to the whole world. We have over thousands of people who visit ProGig Finder every day. The last time we checked within our statistics, I think we had like 15,000 visitors only on the ProGig Finder website before we include the mobile application. So this means you have the potential of being open to a market of 15,000 visitors every day. Now, just assume that those 15,000, some could be from Mbarara, others could be from Gulu, others could be from Kabale. You have enormous potential of being exposed on a platform like ProGig Finder. And this means if you had the potential of earning only 20,000 within your hostel, there is a potential of earning now 200,000, 200 million, according to the amount of skills and also the capital, because you won't separate yourself into different body parts to go and work in Gulu, in Kampala, and what. But for some of the things like remote work, it's possible to do these things online, and you can earn as much as you can. There shouldn't be a limit. So this is the freelancer section. Remember, I talked about the jobs, I talked about the gigs, I talked about the freelancer. So you would wonder, after doing the freelance work, then what next for me as a person who is on the platform? No, you're earning actual money. So inside ProGig Finder, we have a wallet. And on this wallet, this amount you see here is actual money. It is not money that is out of space or like the things you always hear, the scams of put this and then do this, bring 5 people. No, if you do the work and the money is on the platform, then you are able to withdraw your funds. And once you withdraw these funds within a quick time, it should be on your mobile money, whether MTN mobile money, whether Airtel money. So this is the other advantage ProGig Finder has over these other platforms, like other platforms out there. Maybe, I don't know if you guys have tried other platforms like Fiverr or any other platforms, but with ProGig Finder, you are able to withdraw your money directly to MTN mobile money or Airtel money. You don't have to wait days. You don't have to have like a bank account to be able to get paid. No. So once you withdraw your money, then you can use it depending on whatever you want. We have a minimum fee of withdraw 5,001. So you start from 5,001 UGX and you can from there withdraw as much as you can on your account. So we will be so happy for you to try out the platform, but our goal is not even just the money, because once, for example, you do a gig for 20,000, we only take just 10% of the gig, and this is only 2,000 Uganda shillings. So just imagine I've connected you to an opportunity of 1 million, and on that 1 million, I'm just getting 100,000 from that. All the 900K is all yours, because for us, our goal is not necessarily getting the money, but our goal is to connect you people to opportunity. And this is why we call this the future of work, a place where you earn, a place where you learn, and a place where you grow. So ladies and gentlemen, I introduced you ProGig Finder. Check it out on the web. And also, if you have an Android device, you can check it out on Google Play Store, ProGig Finder, and very soon we will let you know once we have the application on iOS. Thank you very much. Back to you, Brittany.
Okay, thank you. Let me reshare. Okay,
Yes.
so Alan just went through the entire platform. I think it was quite clear. As a university student on the platform, we advise that you sign up as someone looking for work because you're able to apply for jobs. You're able to apply for gigs, but you're also able to post gigs as well if you have any problems and you need somebody to help you with it. And then you're also able to set up a freelancer profile and, be a part of our freelance catalog. No, I guess that was maybe a lot introducing you to all the full features of the platform. So just to put it into perspective, we wanted to give you two, real world scenarios. For example, as a university student, for example, you're a graphic design student and it's midterm week and you're short on money for groceries. You have some options. Maybe you can call friends or you can call family. Maybe you can call friends or you can call family, depending. Maybe they can help you out or not. Or also, there's the potential of you going on ProGigFinder, finding a flyer design gig that will take you maybe 2, 3 hours, and right there and then, same day, you have the money to get your groceries. And on the other side, for example, you have a problem. It's move out day. You need to move out from your hostel. Your friends canceled on you, but you have to lift heavy furniture and you have no car. There's multiple options. Maybe you can move alone, but remember the furniture heavy. You could delay, and maybe there are additional fees that you have to pay. Or you can use Finder to hire someone with a car and to help you lift your furniture. I think I'd go with the latter. So with ProGig Finder, you can post emergency gigs and you can get real-time solutions, as well as very important, you get to set your price. So for example, if maybe you only have 50,000 Ugandan shillings, you set the price for your gig and there's somebody out there who is willing to do that gig for the price that you have set. Okay, so your opportunities on ProGig Finder. Or earlier in the webinar, we asked you what skills you had besides the skills that you have been, developing through academia. Besides your studies, what additional skills do you have? But no, in general, including academia, including your other skills on ProGig Finder, what skills do you think you could offer? I'm going to open the AHA slides for you to respond there. So what skills do you think you could offer on ProGig Finder? You could, for example, do tutoring, you could do essay editing, note-taking, translation, maybe something more creative like graphic design, content writing, photography. But based on the things that you know to do, what can you offer? If you drive, maybe you could do delivery. What do you think you could offer on ProGig Finder? Graphic design, creative writing, event decorating. Perfect. I'll wait a few seconds to see if the others would like to share as well. Participants are typing. Okay, no more? Okay, but you guys can think about it because, for example, in the next session, we'll be setting up the profiles with you. So over the weekend, you can think of maybe 3 skills. Okay, accounting, you can be an MC, a translator. Yeah, so you can like continue to brainstorm this weekend as well. These are very good. Continue to brainstorm if there are any additional ones that you think, you could be very good at. And then on Monday afternoon, we'll be creating the profiles. We'll have our breakout rooms to, work with you in groups to create these profiles. Perfect. Also, on the other side, I forgot to ask, wait, as a student, so we dealt with the side of, what skills you can offer on ProGig Finder. But as a student, you often need help with certain tasks. And the question is like, what task would you need help with maybe on a day-to-day basis? And I gave the example about move out day, and maybe you need somebody to help you move your furniture and so on. What other tasks do you think as a student you would need help with that you can post a gig on ProGig Finder to get the help? And the reason I'm asking is because there's an incentive, for example, at the end of the webinar where we'll be giving like certain participants of the webinar a certain amount of money in their wallet so that they can, post gigs to help them with specific tasks. So that's why, would like to get an idea from you. So what tasks do you need help with on a day-to-day basis? grocery shopping, printing, laundry, graphics design. Okay, coursework. Oh, there's a thin line for coursework. Yes, but tutoring. I still see participants are typing. I need data analysis skills. Okay. So persons who can help you with data analysis. I'll just wait for a few more seconds because participants are still typing. Data entry. Yeah. A person who sells bags. ICT skills. Okay, so I think these are some skills that you can offer as well. So you're looking, oh, you sell bags. Oh, you need somebody who sells bags maybe on your behalf. Maybe you make bags and you're looking for a salesperson, possibly. But yeah. Okay, so as I said, at the end of the webinar, there are like we're going to be announcing some incentives. So for example, we'll be giving you a certain amount of money to go towards you posting gigs on the platform. Now, lastly, the last thing that I want to cover is Alan kind of touched on this, is why to become a freelancer on ProGig Finder. So Alan, he already spoke about the visibility in terms of you are exposed to a larger variety of potential clients, and it exposes your skills. Also, in terms of building your portfolio, there's in addition to that, there is a review system. So for example, if you have a client and they found that you did like extremely good work, they can, or even bad work, to be honest, they can go on the system and give you a review. And this kind of helps to build trust. And for example, new clients, when they go on and see that maybe you have like a 4.3 rating, they're like, okay, this person works well. Or a 4.5 rating, they're like, okay, definitely you can see that this person, takes pride in her work, whatever the work is. So we also have a review system. Also on ProGig Finder, it's basically a one-stop shop for the future of work, the area, the work industry. You can find jobs, you can find gigs and projects across all industry, both blue collar and white collar. And as Alan said, yes, we do take a 10% fee. However, we never charge you before you earn. So we take a small 10% fee for the connections that we help you to create. If you don't earn any money, you can go on, you can use our features, you can search for jobs, you can apply for jobs, you can use the resume builder feature. We only take a small percentage of the money that we help you to earn, of the connections that we facilitate. Also, at the end of the slides, we'll be giving you our WhatsApp contact or email address, everything. So we're always there to help you, 24/7 support. So if you need help, you can reach out to any one of us via email, on WhatsApp, and we'll be there to help you and to assist you. Now, given all this information, are you ready to start exploring freelancing opportunities? I will allow you to respond on AHA slides. Yes, you're excited. Maybe you're a little bit skeptical and you want to learn more first, or maybe this isn't for you. Again, there are no wrong answers. Yes, we are ready. I'm so happy to hear. I'm ready too. I'm looking forward to engaging with you, especially in the next webinar. I'm ready. I'm ready too. Yeah, we're looking forward to engaging with you in the next webinar. So in preparation for the next webinar, we would like for you to visit progigfinder.com, explore the platform a little bit, and sign up as a person looking for work. You can, I know you already shared 3 skills, or not the skills that you think you could offer on the platform. You can brainstorm a little bit more and, think about the top 3 skills that you could offer. Have them ready for Monday, because we'll be creating the profiles on Monday, the freelancer profiles. Also, you can prepare whatever questions that you have for session 2. Also, please feel free to tell a friend about the session on Monday. Unfortunately, if they did not come to the first session, they won't qualify for the incentive, but it's still a learning opportunity, and we are planning to have more webinars in the future with more incentives. But please feel free to invite a friend to the session. It can be beneficial to them, of course. But in the next session, we'll be creating your winning ProGig Finder profile. We'll be looking at pricing strategies, how you go about determining your hourly rate, and so on. And it will be like an engaging hands-on sessions through breakout rooms. And now we want to hear from you. Do you have any questions?
Before we jump to the questions, I forgot to show the audience one important thing. And
Okay.
this is mostly about the posting of gigs. So I don't want the audience to think that the posting of gigs can only be done by people who, for example, want to hire someone. Because like we mentioned, every one of us has something we feel that can be done for us. So to me, it could be laundry. To you, it could be washing your dishes. To another person, it could be polishing to their shoes. So like we mentioned here at ProGig Finder, we are not only looking at things that are very big in terms of money, so that the job has to be like 300,000 to be posted. No, even if you have something as small as let's say 6,000 Ugandan shillings, and you think someone else could earn this money, because remember, what you see as a lot of money for yourself could be small money to another person. So what you could see as small to yourself could be a lot of money to another person. So instead of holding on to this money, why don't you release it to that someone and make their day, make them feed their family, make them have a living? And like Brittany mentioned, just imagine you wake up one morning, you are stranded, you don't have a meal for the day, but you can come to ProGig Finder and do a gig and 15,000, and you rest assured that you have money for data for that day and money for lunch for that day. How beautiful is that? So don't ruin the opportunity for other people. Even if you have something small as a small gig for 6,000, 4,000, just post a gig. It doesn't matter, like we mentioned, for us, the goal is not the money. The goal is the connection. The goal is for everyone to have something in their pocket. So even if it is 4,000 Uganda shilling, post the gig. Someone interested in the gig will apply for the gig. And if they can do the gig and deliver to your satisfaction, then you hire them, and they earn from the opportunity. So to post a gig, you come to the platform ProGig Finder. Once you've signed in, go under the browse gig section or the gig section, and then you can click post a gig. Very simple. Put the gig title, select the category where you think this gig applies. Say it's like a one-time task. Put a description because it is important. People need to know what they are going to be doing, if there are requirements needed, the country, for example, Uganda, and the city or area, let's say Makerere University, the price, for example, the budget, if you're going to pay them per hour or you're going to give them a fixed price, let's say of like 20,000 Ugandan shillings, then you select a fixed price, the skills, the date, and if it is urgent, you mark it as urgent and you post a gig. So once you post a gig, it will appear on this section, as you can see. And out of here now, people start applying. And if you've posted the gig, you'll see that different people are applying, and also you'll be receiving emails for the people applying for the gig. And out of those ones, you can chat with them, because we have a chat inside ProGig Finder, and the people who are talking to you, you can reply to them, you can chat with them, agree on the terms, and once everything is set, you can hire a person. And once you hire the person, before, for example, 100 people can apply, but out of these 100, you have selected one. So once you select this one person, we take that 5,000 from you, or whatever the amount of the gig is, and we keep it as ProGig Finder, because we want to be sure that the person who did the work is going to be paid. So this is the only reason why we are collecting the amount and keeping it. But the amount doesn't go to the person who's going to do the work immediately. No, you still have the capacity to only release the money to the person who did the work until they have done the work to your satisfaction. This is why you click the button, and now the money comes from us, ProGig Finder, to the person who did the work. Before they finish the work, the amount is there, but it is within like their pending balance. So you see, we have like the pending, we have the available. So for example, the gig, if the gig is 5,000 and you accept, you select me as the person to do the gig, this amount, once it is collected, it will be here in pending. I can see the amount, but I cannot use it. Once I've done the work and I've clicked the button that the work is done, then on your end, now you can release my payment, and now my payment will be available in my available balance, and this is how I can now withdraw this amount to my mobile money. And very soon, actually, we will also include withdrawing the amount on your bank account. But for now, direct on your mobile money, 10 to 30 minutes already in your account. You're good to go. If you want Commando, if you want Rolex, everything, you can use this money because it is real money. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Alan. So now back, do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you can go to AHA slides. Let me open it and post anonymously. You can post in the chat. You can open your mic and go ahead and ask. How would you help a person who has no skills at all to gain from ProGig Finder? No skills to gain? Are you saying the person has no skills, as in you as a person have no skills? Could you clarify the question just a little bit? Even if I don't post gigs, can I get gigs? Of course, 110%. If as we said, it's a two-sided platform. As university students, we encourage you to sign up as a person looking for work, as long as you have created a freelancer profile. As long as you've created a freelancer profile, you can go ahead and apply for whatever gigs you see on the platform, even if you don't post gigs. They are not complimentary, they're exclusive. You can apply for gigs even if you don't post. Like, can you give them ideas about skills to utilize? Sure, we can definitely for example, if you don't think you have skills, which I find, trust me, everybody has a skill. Even if you can cook, you can deliver items, you can I find it very hard to believe that there's a person without a skill. Maybe in your eyes it's not that big of a deal, but for somebody else it's very valuable what you can do. But for sure, and to be honest, I think it would be very good to dedicate maybe a specific session or a webinar looking at potential skills. But yes, that's something we can do. And then in a little bit, I was actually going to ask you, for example, what topics would you like to cover in upcoming webinars that we'll have, so we can tailor them to, what the audience needs. But everybody has a skill for sure, and I think it would be good for us to. We'll definitely dedicate a webinar to kind of extracting the skills from each person.
And also, just to add a little bit on that, the person I think who asked the question, Daisy, Daisy could be thinking the skills that are needed are only skills of white collar jobs, let's say tech skills or skills within biomedical engineering, skills within accounting. But remember, this is what ProGig Finder is trying to iron out. We are introducing to you a future of work, in that even in your early stages, before you master something, you're still able to earn with whatever you can do. So just imagine if I'm a university student and I can deliver something from my faculty to another faculty, and I can earn 5,000. That doesn't require any kind of knowledge. It is your effort and the ability to walk, run, ride a bicycle, or move from point A to point B. So that's also a skill. And this is like the advantage and the beauty about ProGig Finder. It is not only tailored for the white collar jobs or only for the blue collar jobs. It is tailored for something who has something to do and someone who has the willingness to do something, because we are very sure that on our platform, once like the gigs start flowing, by all means, you have something to do in any way, whatever small, however small it is, as long as you can earn from it.
Yeah. The next question is the ProGig is ProGig Find a profit or oriented platform? So would you like me to answer and then you complement?
Yes.
Okay, so ProGig Finder, we are a business, we are a company, we do have employees, so we do have to, pay employees. So we do hope to have profit. However, that isn't our main goal. For example, our platform is free to use unless it's free to use. We only take a small portion of 10% once you've earned through our platform. Once you've earned through our platform. So for example, you're doing a job for 20,000 UGX, we will take 2000 UGX from that at the end of the day. So our main thing is to facilitate connections. However, we are also a company and we also do have bills. We have to, pay for our database. We have to pay employees. So of course, we also have to, make some profit from the platform to operate as a company and to be able to offer you the best platform out there. So yes, we do like operate. We're not a nonprofit organization. We're a company, but that's not our main goal. Our main goal is to facilitate connections between people who need something done, to people who want something to do, who need something to do.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Brittany. But also just to mention, and you people, you could be wondering of all the audience and the population, I think for 45 million, which is getting close to 50 million people in Uganda, why did we select to start with the university students? All of us have been at university, and we desired such opportunities where, for example, me, I used to study at Uganda Christian University. But in the evening, I used to work at some event place around the university where I would serve in a certain aspect and I earn from that. And out of that, now you desire, if there were a lot of these opportunities, knowing that I could study and still earn a little bit that could help me survive, even if it's not a lot, but it can take me through. It can get me money to print my coursework. It can get me money to have a meal for tomorrow and I'm not starving and I don't need to be disturbing my parents since they have already paid for me my tuition. These are the opportunities that we are trying to present to you and to present to all of all of us. And out of these opportunities, of course, to present these opportunities for you to enjoy using the platform, for the people who are collaborating, getting for you the jobs to apply, for the people who are posting the gigs and using the platform smoothly and making sure you have 24/7 support, those people need to be facilitated and the resources that run the company, and this is why we take like the little 10%. Otherwise, for other platforms, they charge like a hefty price, 20%, and you need to do like commitment fee before you use the platform, monthly subscription to use the platform. No, we are not taking any subscription from you. We are only taking a small percentage only if you earn through the platform. So this means if you're on the platform and you're not earning, you can come every day, see jobs. For example, thousands of people are applying jobs on ProGig Finder, and no one ever charges you of applying for a job through ProGig Finder.
What about when we are many freelancers doing graphics design? How will you select the person to give the gig posted to? And what assurance is there that I will receive the money after I have done the job? And after setting up the freelance account, will we get notifications on when the gig is available, or should we occasionally check our accounts to find out? Alan, can you go?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a very nice question. So I'll answer it bit by bit so that we have everything answered very well. What about when we are many freelancers doing the graphic design? How will you select the person to give the gig posted? This is now the first part where we were talking about completing your freelancer profile. Because remember, for the person to select you, they will first check your freelancer profile. And from checking your freelancer profile, remember we talked about things like reviews. So the person who posted the gig will check your profile and see your reviews on the platform. How was the experience with the other people that worked with you? Because it has to be transparent. Otherwise, they don't know you, you don't know them. So coming from that, they need to see like how is your reputation on the platform? So out of that, based on how good your profile is, because just imagine when when, for example, Bank of Uganda advertises a job and you send your resume to Bank of Uganda, how sure are you that Bank of Uganda is going to select you? So what you do for Bank of Uganda to select you is to make sure, for example, you have like the best credentials, you have like the best resume, and you have presented well. And for people who are Christians, you you have also prayed a very nice prayer to be selected. So out of that, this now we translate that into the digital platform of ProGig Finder. Your freelancer profile. This is what the people see. This is what is marketing you. So based on that and how good it is, and also a portfolio. For example, if you're a graphic designer and you have a portfolio and you've attached it and it has good work, then the chances of selecting you are high. That is not determined by anyone as ProGig Finder. No, that is determined by the person who posted the gig. And out of that, the selection will be based on the criteria they want to use to select the person. Uh, and then, and what assurance is there that you receive your money once you've done the job? Remember, I mentioned this once I was talking about the part for posting the gig, but you could have missed it. So if 100 people apply and the person selects you as the person who is going to do the gig, before you start the work, once the person selects you, we collect that money from them and we hold we hold that money as ProGig Finder. So you do the work, and once the work is done, you submit the work on the platform or you notify the person that the work is done. And with that, they release your payment to you direct to their account. So you as a freelancer, you never start doing work before you collect the payment. There is not such a thing on ProGig Finder. And this is the assurance. That's the only reason why we collect the money. Otherwise, if it was a trustworthy environment, we wouldn't be collecting the money. We would be doing the work. And then at the end, the person pays you and then you give us the small fee. And then lastly, and after setting up the freelancer account, will we get notifications on when the gig is available, or you should occasionally check on the platform? We would suggest highly to occasionally check on the platform to see if there are new gigs, and you can apply for the gigs, but very, very soon, in the shortest time possible, we've already also integrated things like broadcast emails where once we now know that you're a graphic designer and there are some gigs that need graphic designers, then we'll be sending you emails. Oh, there are some gigs that you'd be interested from our platform. Here are the top 10 gigs that we think would match your profile as a freelancer on our platform. So, but for now, the recommendation is to occasionally check on the platform until the integration for the email is done. And I think these are the three questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for all the questions that you have been asking. This is something that we're really passionate and really excited about. And we look forward to more webinars where we can all engage and to share. And for these webinars, to be honest, we do not want it to be one-sided. We want it to be a conversation. We want you to hear us, and we definitely want to hear from you in order to how to, adapt the platform to make it better suited to you. Also, how to adapt the webinars to make it more suited, better suited to you as well, to help enhance the skills that you can offer on ProGig Finder, etc. So lastly, we are, so far over time. But in terms, so there are two things that I want to say. Firstly, for future webinars, in what we want to do is to bring freelancers who are seasoned in the area of freelancing to offer career advice. And also we want to offer like free trainings like maybe videography, photography, coding, and so on. And would really like to hear, and based on the question that was asked, maybe like a webinar specifically designed to really like understand the skills that we possess, as because to us it might not seem as a skill, but to others it definitely is useful. So that's probably a webinar that we could have. So if there are any other webinars, like any other topics that you'd like us to touch on in these webinars, please feel free to share via the AHA slides. Also, I'll be sharing our emails in a few. Please feel free to take them. Maybe Julian or Alan, if you could just type our emails in the chat so they could have it on hand so that they can reach out to us. Any one of us, ask your questions, share what type of topics you'd like us to cover in the future. Also, in terms of the incentives, as you already know, participants who attend both sessions, so this session and the one on Monday, you get 5,000 UGX, which will be transferred to your mobile money based on the information that you put into the registration form. Also, another incentive that we're offering for this specific webinar, if any of you guys would like to post a gig, we will be putting 15,000 UGX in your wallet to that you can use to, pay the person who does the gig for you. So if you're interested in posting a gig, please send us an email. Send it to me, Alan, or Julian, and we will get back to you. We'll ensure that the money is in your wallet. So those are the two incentives. And then we'll further discuss them again on Monday. So yes, please feel free to share the topics for the future webinars, and please keep the incentives in mind. And lastly, how to get in touch with us. The general ProGig Finder email is admin@progigfinder.com. Also, to get in touch with specifically any of the three of us, these are our emails. I think Alan and Julian or Julian put them in the chat or we'll put them in the chat, please. And then this is our WhatsApp number that you can, reach out to us on. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much for the engagement, for engaging with us on our AHA slides as well as in the chat. We appreciate it, and we look forward to your participation, your continued participation for our upcoming webinars. I think within the registration form, we had asked you to indicate if you'd be interested in getting information about future webinars. So if you did select that you'd be interested in, you'll get our newsletter and you can follow us on social media. Again, I did not put social media platforms on this slide, but if you go to ProGigFinder.com, all our social media is there. Thank you, and we will see you on Monday.
On Monday, don't forget to come with another mate. If you bring 5, 10, 100, we are very, very interested in having as many as we could.